NBC News, London.
And that's nightly news for this Wednesday. Thank you for watching, everyone. I'm Lester Holt. Please take care of yourself and each other. Good night.
Honestly, this is really well written. I don't feel like I want to do the Wednesday dance for promo because we've seen so much of that already, and I think it's time to do something new.
Yeah.
You know?
We didn't want to do the dance either, so.
Played.
Oh.
Super played.
Sue right, Jake middle, me on the left.
Yeah, I knew I'd win.
Are you saying
What's
something?
really happening over there?
I think you're on mute.
There's no substitute for real gaming fun. Go where fun lives. Ho Chung Gaming Wittenberg.
You can stretch your family food budget. Call the Family Food Helpline.
Straight ahead, a local school district is focusing on mental health. We'll explain how they're making it easier for students to meet with providers.
Plus, President Biden is set to release his budget. We'll have a preview of his plans to reduce the deficit.
And a proposed bill is cracking down on the opioid crisis. We'll have the details as your local news starts right now.
News Watch 12 with Dan Hagan, Jessica Jukic, and Conrad Sapinski.
Good evening and welcome to News Watch 12 at 6. I'm Jessica Jukic.
And I'm Dan Hagan. Feelings of persistent sadness and hopelessness for teenagers is rising. A CDC report said those feelings increased by about 40%, and that was before the pandemic.
That's why an area school district is making sure their students have consistent access to mental health care. News Watch 12's Nick Van Zyl was in Leona and has more. Nick.
Thanks, Jessica. In Forest County, mental health services for kids can be hours away and typically have wait lists. The Leona School District is putting the finishing touches on a space where students can meet with a mental health provider 3 days a week.
Students aren't able to maybe cope with some of the things that are going on in their life.
The Leona School District is making sure their students have access to services they need. Kimberly Welk grew up in a small school district with no mental health services. Now, she's a marriage and family therapist and owner of a certified mental health center in Green Bay.
Abuse, whether they've seen terrible car accidents, any number of things that can create a change in their brain for them.
Kimberly and her staff provide school-based mental health services to 8 different school districts in northeastern Wisconsin. Callie Christensen grew up in a small community and now provides counseling services in another small community.
I am in the school-based program Tuesday through Thursday. So those 3 days, I am doing about 7 to 8 clients.
Christensen says anxiety, depression, and grief are most common among students.
So sometimes what we do is just provide at 45 minutes for a student to come in and just talk about, like, I'm having a rough day. I'm an average teenager, but I am so anxious right now.
The newly renovated room allows students and parents a confidential space to meet with professionals.
We're making sure that they're in their healthiest place ever to learn and be successful even as they become adults.
Leona isn't the only school district getting on board with school-based services. Armstrong-Goodman Creek is another district in our area utilizing these services.
Sounds like a great program. Thank you, Nick. Conrad, it was another beautiful day out there.
Yeah, temperatures were close to 40 degrees once again. And I'm seeing some snow is on its way, right?
Yes, Dan, that is correct. A little bit more snow is on the way. Right now, the satellites are showing some snow falling from the clouds, but it is not quite reaching the ground, and that's what we call virga. There is some precipitation that is falling from the sky, and it is reaching the ground. Those are those heavier bands of snow in western Wisconsin. For us, though, we are in the clear for now. We do have another snowmaker on the way Thursday night into Friday. There is some winter weather advisories just south of Wausau and even a winter storm warning in Adams County and west of that, where several inches of snowfall will be likely. Temperatures earlier today, look at this, 38 degrees here in town, 40 in Eagle River, 41 in Land O'Lakes, even some mid-40s in some localized spots. So it was a very well above average mild day today. The sun is starting to set now and temperatures are cooling off. We're still slightly above freezing, but once these temperatures dip below freezing, things will start to refreeze and it will get pretty slick out there, folks. So be careful, especially by that morning commute tomorrow, as our temperatures tonight will continue to cool off well above average and hovering around 22 degrees. Dan?
President Biden is set to unveil his budget tomorrow in Philadelphia, and a $3 trillion deficit reduction will be a central part of his proposal. The president has offered several revenue-raising proposals to help him reach his deficit reduction goals, including a new tax on households worth more than $100 million and quadrupling tax on stock buybacks. Biden has also proposed cost-saving measures, such as expanding Medicare's ability to negotiate the price of certain prescription drugs.
One person was taken to the hospital following a fire at Pine Glow Motel in Eagle River today. An officer on scene told Newswatch 12 that his injuries were not life-threatening. The same officer mentioned that the fire likely started with an oxygen tank in one of the rooms. The fire started in one room, though it did spread to a couple of neighboring rooms. Electricity and gas have been shut off to the building until an inspection can be done to see if the building is still livable.
The number of U.S. infants who died from an opioid overdose is on the rise. According to a study published Wednesday in the Pediatrics Journal, 731 children under the age of 5 died of a drug-related death from 2005 through 2018. Researchers say some of these deaths came from the use of over-the-counter medications, but the majority of these fatal poisonings were from opioids. The study doesn't say how these children were able to get their hands on the drugs.
Opioid overdose deaths in the United States have been increasing steadily for decades. The CDC says 2/3 of all overdose deaths are linked to synthetic opioids like fentanyl. While the federal government has declared the opioid crisis a public health emergency, there is a new push to target fentanyl and similar substances that are worsening the epidemic, including a proposed bill aimed at labeling Mexican drug cartels foreign terrorist organizations.
This problem is a national security threat. Fentanyl is a killer, and the people killing Americans reside out in the open in Mexico.
The Biden administration
It's a synthetic
is addressing
opioid.
drug trafficking by sanctioning entities associated with illegal and deadly trade.
Autonomous vehicles are now coming to construction sites. Florida excavation company Tomahawk is planning to use dump trucks that can drive themselves to help build a neighborhood in Naples. They are regular trucks that have been retrofitted with technology made by California company Telio. While Telio says full automation on construction equipment is still years away, the trucks use what is called a supervised autonomy system. That means the equipment can operate itself, but humans can also step in and use remote controls to help out. These semi-self-driving dump trucks are scheduled to begin working on the Florida neighborhood this summer. Plastic is becoming a big issue for the oceans. We'll explain how the United Nations are working to reduce pollution.
And a garden center is preparing for spring. We'll have a look at how they're helping others get a green thumb. That's after weather with Conrad.
This portion of Newswatch 12 is brought to you by Slumberland.
After 35 years in the home improvement industry, I can tell you that when it comes time to replace windows, most people want to use a solution that's going to last. I'm with Paul Delahunt, president of Renewal by Andersen. So, Paul, how do you know your Fiberx composite window is going to hold up over time?
Well, Dean, is the full-service replacement division of Andersen. We've known for a long time that our Fiberx material is 2 times stronger than vinyl and doesn't expand or contract with changes in temperature like vinyl does. But last year, for the first time, we conducted a long-term durability study.
So what did you find out?
Well, the results were excellent. And after 20 years of brutal Minnesota winters and muggy summers, our windows were as easy to open and close as the day they were installed. And our Fiberx material remained incredibly strong with no cracking, peeling, or chipping.
If you're looking for a replacement window solution that's going to last, look no further than Renewal by Andersen.
Call Renewal by Andersen today to schedule your free window diagnosis. Plus, take advantage of this incredible limited time offer. Installation is included. There's never been a better time for you to experience Renewal by Andersen's signature service for yourself. Renewal by Andersen, the better way to a better window.
What does it cost to buy off a judge? For extremist Dan Kelly, he's for sale for $20,000. In 2020, Kelly conveniently changed his mind about whether to judge the Tim Zignego case. Kelly had recused himself. Then he pocketed $20,000 in contributions from Zignego and his family, and Kelly unrecused himself so he could judge the case. Justice shouldn't be for sale. Dan Kelly is too corrupt, too extreme.
Wickersham Jewelry is excited to announce their 2023 Wedding Band Expo. 3 days only, March 9th through the 11th. with incredible savings of 20% on the area's largest selection of wedding bands and anniversary rings. Save 20% on the exclusive Love Story collection. Free silicone band with appointment. Take advantage of interest-free financing options. Wickersham Jewelry. If you can dream it, we can make it.
Been daydreaming of campfires or time on the water? Start your summer plans by joining Schroeder's RV and Marine at their 28th annual open house, March 31st, April 1st, and 2nd. They have over 300 boats and campers available. Shop the best deals on the best brands at the biggest RV and Marine dealer in the North Woods. Join us at Schroeder's RV and Marine for the 28th annual open house, March 31st, April 1st, and 2nd. See you there.
And welcome back. Let's talk a little bit about snow. So far this season, up to date, we are at around 82.6 inches of snow compared to 69.6 this time last year. And look at this little guy, 49.9 inches just 2 years ago. And I'm calling it right now. I think, in my opinion, we are very, very likely to hit top 5 snowiest seasons on record. Look at number 5. 92.9 inches. This was last year. And then 99.9 several years ago. I think that is definitely in reach, in my opinion. So I'm calling that right now. We do have a little bit of snow on the way again Thursday night into Friday. And then once again, Saturday night through Sunday into the morning hours on Monday. So very active weather pattern ahead. Right now, though, we do have some precipitation that is showing that it is falling from the sky, but it is Virgo precipitation, not quite reaching the ground here in the Northwoods, as we do have lots of dry air in the region right now. But another system will be developing, and this will continue to be a trend the next several days. Thursday night into Friday gets very interesting. We're looking at snow moving in, picking up in intensity overnight Thursday into the early morning hours on Friday, with the heaviest snow around Wausau and south. Adams County is going to be the main spot. Same thing into Madison. Even northern Illinois will get in on several inches of snowfall, quickly moving out by the early morning hours on Friday. So then by the afternoon on Friday, we will all be in the clear. And then another round does arrive Saturday night into Sunday. So with this first round, Thursday night into Friday, we're looking at 1 to 3 inches of snowfall here in town. Wausau south, we're looking at 3 to 5, even 6 inches in some spots, where Adams County will be the big winner. The more south you go, the more snow you're going to get with this one this time around. We do even have some winter weather advisories posted south of Wausau area, even a winter storm warning in Adams County and those western counties with those several inches of snowfall on the way, folks. So get ready. Okay, what are we looking at? Let's do a little summary. Thursday night into Friday, light fluffy snow, not that wet heavy snow we had several days ago. Heavy snow south, mostly Wausau south into Adams County. We're looking at wind gusts around 25 to even 30 miles an hour, and poor road conditions, regional impacts. So poor road conditions will definitely be a trend into the morning hours on Friday. So plan to leave a little bit extra early for work or school or whatever you got going on if you have to drive or walk around. Let's talk a little bit about temperatures, folks. Our average should be around 35 degrees. The next several days, even the rest of the week into beginning to even middle of next week, temperatures will be well below average in the upper 20s to some lower 30s. So we will continue that trend for quite some time. Not only a week out, maybe even 2 weeks out, we're looking at below average temperatures. That will continue to be a trend into March. And tonight, though, temperatures will be hovering at around 22 degrees. Cloudy skies, though, a pretty light breeze out of the east. Tomorrow, temperatures will be hovering around 35 degrees, more melting of the snow, mostly cloudy skies. The winds will start to pick up out of the east at around 10 to 20 miles an hour. And our 7-day outlook, brought to you by Northwoods Furniture and Mattress, does show that round of snow Thursday night into Friday, then Saturday night into Sunday, right into the morning hours on Monday. But look what happens Tuesday into Wednesday. We are finally in the clear. Jessica?
More than 170 trillion plastic particles have polluted the world's ocean. That's according to a 40-year study. Researchers analyzed data between 1979 and 2019 from nearly 12,000 sampling points in the Atlantic, Pacific, and Indian Oceans. Plastic production has soared in the last few decades, but only about 9% are recycled each year. Once plastic gets into the ocean, it breaks down into tiny pieces that are not easy to clean up. The United Nations has agreed to create a legally binding global plastics treaty by 2024, which would address plastics from production to disposal.
The local chamber is being recognized for their contributions to tourism in the area. The Rhinelander Chamber of Commerce was recently nominated for a Governor's Tourism Award. The Tourism Awards recognize individuals or organizations that work to leave a lasting impact on Wisconsin's tourism industry. Winners will be named on March 14th.
Hanson's Garden Village south of Rhinelander is hosting a few different classes and events for the spring season. Manager Beth Hanson says that for the second year in a row, the Garden Center will be hosting a class for kids themed for St. Patrick's Day.
They'll be getting a container, planting it up with soil, landscaping it, and then adding the leprechaun figurine. And then in addition to that, we'll also be doing a scavenger hunt in our greenhouses where they can find treasures.
Hanson says that holding the popular classes and events helps the hobby grow among the younger generations. She also says that after the long winter months, people are starting to get very excited about getting back into their gardens.
Everyone has spring fever, and that's kind of why we open up our greenhouses for classes and other events early before people can actually get outside to plant.
If you'd like to get your hands in the dirt at Hanson's, go to their website, hansonsgardenvillage.com, for information about their upcoming classes. The Milwaukee Bucks are on a tear right now, winning 18 out of their last 19 games. Coming up, we'll hear from Coach Bud on the recent success.
Plus, it's nearly time for the NCAA tournament, but another tournament pits humane societies against each other. We'll hear about that fundraising competition after the break.
We used to struggle with greasy messes. Now, we just freak, wipe, and we're done.
With Mr. Clean Freak, conquering messes is that easy. Clean Freak's mist is 3 times more powerful, and it works on contact. Clean Freak, just freak, wipe, done.
Just between us, you know what's better than mopping? Anything. Ugh. Well, I switched to Swiffer Wet Jet, and it's awesome. It's an all-in-one that absorbs dirt and grime deep inside. And it helps prevent streaks and haze. Wet Jet is so worth it. Love it or your money back.
At Lakeside Living Design, we've always got something stylish in store for you. Whether you're looking for high-quality custom upholstery, decorative accessories and gifts, or are designing your space entirely from scratch, you'll have a friendly designer by your side, sharing their expertise, helping you bring your unique style to life. So stop by, explore our showroom, and together we'll make your space feel just like home.
Sore back but hate mattress shopping?
Yes.
Totally dread it.
Totally.
Come to Slumberland and see how we've made mattress shopping easy.
How easy is that? So easy. So easy.
Get your sleep solution at Slumberland Furniture. You can always find great-looking furniture at incredible everyday low prices at Slumberland Furniture. Like these modern sectionals and sofas, starting as low as $3.99. And always free doorstep shipping. Get your look.
For less.
At Slumberland Furniture.
A convicted felon kidnapped and raped a 15-year-old girl, abducting her off the street in broad daylight. Judge Janet Protasewicz could have sentenced him to 20 years. Instead, she put him back on our streets.
What detractors would say is you having been soft on a violent sexual crime.
I would say that that's ridiculous. Judge Protasewicz puts our families at risk, and putting her on our Supreme Court, that's what's ridiculous. Fair Courts America is responsible for the content of this advertising.
I don't think you should be working 3 jobs.
Me neither. That's why I got 4. Do you know what it's like to be broke, looking through people's trash for food?
You do that now. You like trash food.
When it's on my terms.
Lopez versus Lopez, Friday on NBC.
See that girl back there? I heard her going on and on about boxing.
Thanks for looking out.
I made that up. This is a prank.
Oh, you got him good?
What the fuck? You don't like it?
Oh, we're headed back to her place. Thank you, Nikki.
Grand Crew, Friday on NBC and streaming on Peacock.
The Lakeland T-Birds girls basketball team is gearing up for the state tournament. They will take on top-seeded Pewaukee on Friday on Fresh Center in Green Bay. That game will start at 1:35. They wrapped up practice this afternoon, and our own Saul Meyer was there. He'll have a report on the team's mindset going into state tonight at 10.
The Milwaukee Bucks took down the Orlando Magic last night, 134-123, giving them their 18th win in the last 19 games. The Bucks were also able to pull this off without stars Giannis Antetokounmpo and their point guard. That didn't prove to be a problem as Chris Middleton, Brook Lopez, and Javon Carter combined for 74 points in the team's road win. Without their star players, head coach Mike Budenholzer was proud of some other guys stepping up.
It was great to get him going early. Chris finding him. Chris has a knack. And, again, I think it got us off to a good start, got Brook off to a good start. So it's good to see him scoring in a variety of ways.
With the postseason coming up, Coach Budenholzer is confident his team can make a deep run in the playoffs this year. Basketball Hall of Famer Jim Boeheim's 47-year tenure as coach at Syracuse University ended today. The move came less than 3 hours after Syracuse lost to Wake Forest in the ACC tournament. Boeheim has the second most wins all time at the Division I level, only trailing former Duke coach Mike Krzyzewski.
The NCAA men's basketball tournament starts up next week, but that's not the only competition going on this month. March Madness is a national championship where 46 animal shelters from across the U.S. compete to raise the most money for their organizations. The Oneida County Humane Society is in the second round of the draw. Director Amanda Hayden says the tournament helps them care for the animals.
We have been able to cover major surgeries, maybe surgeries we haven't been able to do before, go to specialists. We've just all around been able to do more for the animals.
The shelter welcomes more than 100 animals per year. With more animals being brought in, expenses are adding up.
My hopes is to be able to bring all that money in so that the animals, we have no worries, and they get the care that they need.
In each round, the organization with the most funds raised moves on. OCHS uses social media to raise awareness and find donors. Their second round started this morning and closes Friday night. The competition runs through March 31st. We'll be back with one final check of the forecast.
Feeling lucky? Everyone's a winner at Furniture and Appliance Mart's Lucky Streak Mattress Sale. Save over $800 instantly on Beauty Rest mattresses, plus special financing for 5 years at Furniture and Appliance Mart.
Sexual assault of an 11-year-old. No prison time. He raped a military veteran, left her for dead. Just 2.5 years. Raped a mentally disabled 14-year-old. Probation. How the heck did this happen? Janet Protasewicz.
If you could go back in time, would you have ruled any differently?
I would say no. Really? No time in prison? I would say no. Protasewicz set violent criminals free. Again and again. Tell Judge Protasewicz, stop protecting criminals.
Visit Ho Chunk Gaming Nakusa to experience exciting action on the hottest slot machines and electronic table games. With big fun, you get bigger rewards while playing with your Rewards Club card. Enjoy special gaming offers, food and entertainment discounts, and more. Hungry? No problem. Escape to the oasis of Swiftwater Lounge for drinks, food, and fun. We'll see you at Ho Chunk Gaming Nakusa, your place to play.
There's no way to count the number of sandwiches you've packed over the years. Hard to imagine this day would come. Yeah, there's still the same fields, the same roads, the same hard work. But now they're in someone else's hands. And you couldn't be more proud of who you're handing the farm to. No matter what the future holds, Ag Country is here to help you plan ahead.
Looking to make a switch from your current wireless carrier? Make Cellcom your choice. Now, through the end of the month, get 6 months of service for free with a new smartphone line activation and Flex agreement. Choose from the latest phones and a plan that meets all of your wireless needs. Plus, join Cellcom and we'll cover your cost to switch, up to $650 per line. Visit Cellcom.com/save for more details. That's Cellcom.com/save.
At Len's Truck, we've made the buying experience fast and easy. All our trucks are guaranteed clean, certified, can be bought hassle-free online, and can be delivered right to your door. It's our way of saying thanks to our past and future customers for the last 35 years. And when you buy a Len's Truck, know that you're buying the best used truck money can buy. Go now to lenstruck.com. You'll find over 800 used trucks, all priced to move. Go now to lenstruck.com.
Lens Truck. Feeling lucky? Everyone's a winner at Furniture and Appliance Mart's Lucky Streak Mattress Sale. Save over $800 instantly on Beauty Rest mattresses. Plus special financing for 5 years. At Furniture and Appliance Mart.
Builder Service. We are your hometown hardware store. Plumbing, electrical, paint, automotive, keys, tools, lawn and garden. We're more than just a lumberyard. Highway 45 in Elko.
82.3 inches of snow is what we have so far this winter season. A little bit more is on the way within the next week. Winter weather advisories have been posted just south of Wausau, even a winter storm warning in Adams County and in those western counties where several inches of snowfall will be likely. Some spots will even see over 6 inches of snow. Here in town, though, we're looking at a good 1 to 3 inches, maybe 4 in some spots, but mostly south of Wausau. That's where we're looking at a good 3 to 6 inches, with even a lot more by Adams County. Right now, this is starting to develop, and that will continue to be a trend tomorrow night into Friday, as our 7-day outlook does show another round moves in Saturday right through Sunday into the morning hours on Monday.
And I know they're lacking snow down there in Adams County, so that'll be good for the trails down there.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Conrad. That's all the time we have. We'll see you back here at
10. Mr. Food Test Kitchen is brought to you by Golden Carrot Jewelers.
Backwoods country cooking is very in these days, and it proves that the most basic down-home recipes, the ones many of us grew up on, are still what we're looking for, because they're easy to throw together, they're budget-friendly, and the leftovers are just as good as the original. Well, let's take a look at what we can do with a few basics. We cook some pasta according to the package directions, and we drain it. Now, we're using elbows, but egg noodles or spirals work just as well. Now, while the pasta drains, we brown some ground beef with a few seasonings, a chopped onion, and a green pepper. Now, once that's cooked, we toss that mixture into the same pot, along with a couple cans of tomato soup, a can of creamed corn, and a generous amount of cheese.